Analysis Destiny, the final shape pre-orders seem to be less than 25% of Lightfall's total figures. Holy fuck. This is based on pre-order exclusive emblems for expansions applied on all public Destiny profiles. Data provided to us by Charlemagne. Oh my lord. Stream is about to derail for just a moment. I hope you guys don't mind, but this is that's pretty big news. I'm curious to know how they came up with that figure though, more than anything. So, at the end of the day, man, I don't want to see Destiny fail. I think Destiny is... I actually love Destiny still, but again, I'm more interested to know how they came up with these numbers. Let's start though. Analysis: Destiny 2, the final shape pre-orders appear to be less than a quarter of Lightfall's total figures. This is by Zuhad, which we've read a number of articles from Zuhad here. The game post analysis shows Destiny 2, the final shape has the lowest numbers of pre-orders when compared to the pre-orders for the last 3 expansions. In the ever-evolving world of Destiny 2, pre-order figures have always been a critical indicator of player anticipation and overall interest in annual expansions. And as an avid Destiny 2 enthusiast, delving into the realm of pre-order data has unveiled intriguing insights into the upcoming expansion, The Final Shape. The Final Shape will be the last expansion in Destiny's 10-year-long Light versus Darkness saga. The expansion was initially planned to be released later this month on February 27th, 2024. However, due to Destiny 2 underperformance, lower than expected pre-order numbers for The Final Shape, and revenue projections running below 45% for the year, Bungie decided to delay the release until June 4th, 2024, and laid off 8% of its workforce in October 2023, as reported by Bloomberg and IGN. Both the Witch Queen and Lightfall expansions were successful in terms of sales. The Witch Queen not only succeeded in its sales, but also received praise for its story, activities, and the raid. It did. Witch Queen was great. However, the same cannot be said for Lightfall. While Lightfall achieved sales success, it did not deliver the penultimate storytelling experience that most fans hoped for, which resulted in poor reception from critics and fans. On the other hand, The Witch Queen not only succeeded in its sales, but also received praise for its story, activities, and the raid. I would definitely put a big emphasis on the raid. I mean, the raid for the Witch Queen, I just didn't expect that level, especially like the day one experience for it was so good. Now, data sources, caveats, and methodology. The data used in this analysis is provided to the game post by Charlemagne, the Warmind of Discord, a third-party app that obtains it directly from Bungie's API for Destiny. However, how this works is that Charlemagne scans all unique Destiny profiles, which amounts to around 66 million, to track every account that has acquired the pre-order bonus emblems for the expansion. Holy crap. These emblems can only be acquired if a player pre-orders the expansion. Okay, so guys, I'm sure most of you are probably familiar with Charlemagne. We use Charlemagne for, a lot of data analysis within Destiny if we're ever trying to pull numbers for specific things. So this is Charlemagne's website. You can add them to your Discord. I'm pretty sure all of our data, though, is all provided by Charlemagne, right? Oh, Alexander said, hold on. Alexander says not everyone grabs the emblem from the kiosk, though. I don't think it's only counting emblems that have been picked up, right? It would still be on their account because it's unlocked, though, right? All right, so my question is, based on what you guys are saying, so you're saying that the numbers here could be better considering there are maybe a number of people that didn't grab it, but dude, these are Destiny players. How many Destiny players wouldn't grab the emblem? Let's read this important note. That said, it's important to note that the data provided here may not be the exact representation of the official numbers, as there are some limitations. For instance, Charlemagne cannot access the data of players who have set their profiles to private mode, which makes them approximately less than 1% of the total player base. Additionally, the data does not reflect the pre-order emblems that are not acquired from the in-game vendors, Master Raoul, and special delivery kiosks. As a result, there may be a difference between the numbers presented here and the official figures for the expansions. Oh, okay. We are comparing the pre-orders for 4 Destiny 2 expansions: Beyond Light, the Witch Queen, Lightfall, and the Final Shape. Let's take a look at the exclusive emblems available to players who pre-ordered any edition of these expansions. The pre-order exclusive emblem for Beyond Light is called Beyond Light. For the Witch Queen, it's Lucidity. The exclusive emblem for Lightfall is Neomuna Nights, and for the Final Shape, it's Paracausal Path. Now, it's worth mentioning that the pre-order emblem for the Shadowkeep Benign Omen was only available with the Shadowkeep Deluxe Edition. Therefore, the data available for it is not as precise as that for the other expansions, since the emblem wasn't included as a standard pre-order bonus with the standard edition. Now, comparing the numbers, how low are the Final Shape pre-orders? Based on the game post analysis and the data provided by Charlemagne on February 23rd, 2024, it seems that Beyond Light received the highest number of pre-orders among the 4 expansions. Really? Lightfall follows in second place with the Witch Queen in third place, and the final shape having the lowest pre-orders. Now, to put this into perspective, Destiny 2's previous expansion, Lightfall, released in February 2023, has around 2.249 million estimated lifetime pre-orders. The Witch Queen, released in 2022, has 2.244 million lifetime pre-orders, and Beyond Light, released in 2020, and has 3.189 million lifetime pre-orders. Dude, Beyond Light had that many pre-orders? That's crazy. More than Witch Queen? What was going on? What was going on with Beyond Light? I mean, I know we had stasis. Oh, yeah, that's right, guys. It was COVID. We didn't have nothing else to do. I forgot. We were all at home. Well, you know, here's the thing, too. We had Beyond Light. We were pitching it as well. Like, it was pitched to me that we were heading into, like, Destiny 3 territory. Remember the whole, the update we were supposed to be getting, or the, you know, the weather system, right? The dynamic weather system was a really big deal. That was the big pitch, and that there would be these graphical updates throughout Destiny. I don't know. For some reason, and we're actually making a video on this. For some reason, though, Destiny 2 seems to look worse graphically than it did before Beyond Light. But that's not what this is about. But COVID obviously boosted these numbers. Now, here are the estimated pre-order numbers for all 4 expansions based on our analysis. Beyond Light, almost 3.2 million. Witch Queen, 2.25. Lightfall, 2.249. And the final shape, oh my God, 407,601. Dude, this is awful. Guys, if this is the case, if this is real, holy shit, that's terrible. Now, look, I'm just going to say from my own experience during the final shape reveal, we're watching it and everybody's in there, you know, we're all kind of like taking in all the information, right? But dude, it was so different than Lightfall because so many were like, yeah, I think I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna wait on this one. Whereas like Lightfall, when Lightfall was shown, everybody was like, oh my God, I love it. Let me buy it. I'm getting it now. This is gonna be hyped. We're going into Infinity War right now. And then Final Shape will be in game. Final Shape didn't have that. And understand, Lightfall had that hype because A, Lightfall looked dope. It's a dope name, right? And B, Witch Queen really was a good expansion, and that was a good ramp up for it. And again, I'm just basing this off of, because we watch the reveal every year, the big buy doc and everything. And, you know, it's normally a moment there where we get really hyped. And I just noticed like this past year or last year, like the hype was just dead. And so many people were saying, I'm going to wait until after this expansion rolls out. There's literally nothing to look forward to in the final shape. There's no Witch Queen boss, no stasis, no strand, no hype. Man, dude. How much better do you think the pre-orders would have been had there been a red subclass? That red subclass that was teased, you know? Notice the expansions here, like Beyond Light, Lightfall brought new subclasses, right? But Witch Queen, the narrative was so good. And there were so many great things about Witch Queen. So, I don't know, man. I kind of wish Bungie could just do it all. You know, if these numbers are true, I'm concerned. My concern now is that this is not the first wave of layoffs that Bungie got this past November when they had the big layoffs. My concern is that this is one of perhaps multiple waves of layoffs. All right, let's continue. Surprisingly, the number for all 4 emblems are still rising to this day. It highlights that the data derived from pre-order emblems does not precisely mirror the actual pre-order numbers, but there exists a solid correlation between the two. Our analysis also shows that the Final Shape expansion managed to secure roughly 15,000 pre-orders. 15,000 emblems were applied to the profiles in the 15-day period starting from February 5th and ending on February the 20th. Bungie made an official announcement on February 1st, 2022, stating that the Witch Queen, a highly anticipated expansion for Destiny 2, had already surpassed 1 million pre-orders and is on track to be the most pre-ordered expansion in Destiny 2 history. Although the Destiny developer did not disclose the official pre-order figures for the Lightfall expansion, it can be assumed that it also surpassed the 1 million pre-orders before or by February 1st, 2023, considering it had more pre-orders than the Witch Queen. However, for the Final Shape, the pre-orders haven't even come close to the above figures. The significant drop in pre-orders can be attributed to several causes. One of the reasons for this could be that fans are being cautious and waiting for more information about the Final Shape before making a decision, especially after Lightfall failed to hit the mark for many fans. Exactly. The Game Post has reached out to Bungie for comment on this piece. Now, player sentiment, the delay, layoffs, and a marketing void. Despite being one of the best-selling expansions in Destiny 2 and having broken the record for all-time high concurrent players on Steam, Lightfall faced severe backlash. Its story campaign was lackluster and failed to meet expectations, even with its commercial success. This marked the beginning of a decline in player sentiment, and the situation was made worse by the lack of updates to PvP content. The disregard for Gambit, a hybrid PvP-PvE mode introduced in 2018, repetitive seasonal model, increased number of in-game monetization, and time-gated quests. The announcement of the Final Shape's delay in late 2023 added a new level of intricacy to Destiny 2's already complex narrative. With the extended 6-month wait, along with the 8% layoffs at Bungie, there was an undeniable feeling of uncertainty in the air, which also stirred questions about the expansion's development and the studio's ability to deliver a fitting end to this saga. So Destiny Bulletin actually did this right there. Have you pre-ordered Destiny 2 The Final Shape? Yes, not yet, but I will. Waiting for more details, not pre-ordering. So 30.9% on that. Now, the Game Post Destiny Bulletin conducted a poll on X on February 22nd. The poll received over 20,000 votes and revealed that 30.9% of voters are not pre-ordering the Final Shape expansion. 20.6% are waiting for more details on the expansion. 22.6% haven't pre-ordered yet, but plan to in the future. And 26% have already pre-ordered the expansion. While this poll only represents a fraction of the overall Destiny 2 player base, it provides a general idea of the player sentiment regarding Bungie and the Destiny franchise. In a report from IGN, it was revealed that the player sentiment surrounding Destiny 2 was at an all-time low, with employees begging for necessary changes to win players back. Bungie CEO Pete Parsons also told employees that the layoffs were largely due to underperformance of Destiny 2 over the last year, as well as lower than expected pre-orders for the Final Shape expansion. Following the layoffs in late 2023, Bloomberg Jason Schreier reported that Destiny 2 experienced a significant decrease in popularity among players. As per the report, the game's revenue projections for the year were below 45%. Again, pre-orders are important. And a lot of the forward projections there are depending on those pre-orders. And so the 45%, we were all wondering how in the world, we thought the projections were astronomical, but maybe it wasn't. With pre-orders being as low as what Charlemagne is projecting here, that makes a lot more sense now, the 45% miss. Now, it's worth noting that the expansion sales aren't the sole revenue stream for Destiny 2. Season Pass, which received a 20% increase in price in 2023, along with cosmetic bundles, dungeon keys, in-game monetization. A merchandise sale also played major roles and contributed to the game's revenue projections. However, due to low player sentiment, popularity, and engagement retention, it seems the monetization spending in the Eververse store from Destiny 2 players took a massive hit in 2023. Then comes the marketing void during the 6-month-long delay period for the Final Shape, with no new announcements, details, or promotional initiatives for the upcoming expansion to sustain player engagement and interest. Yeah, dude. I'm hoping like March, they're gonna probably start ramping things up. Maybe April, they're gonna start ramping things up. But the whole way all of that was just handled was so poor, you know? We've had delays before in the past, but not in the way that this was delayed. The delays in the past was like, hey, here's the Vidoc, here's the reveal for the upcoming expansion. And they would show those things, we would get hype, and then they would say, to make this really worth it, we're delaying things by a month, 2-3 months, right? And that was okay because it was part of the Vidoc reveal. Again, the delay here was announced after the Vidoc reveal, and actually a month after the layoffs. And so we're seeing all this bad news and stuff, and so it just screams mismanagement. That's what it screams. Now, Destiny's future of uncertainty, no more annual expansions. The revelation that Bungie is transitioning away from the traditional seasonal model to embrace a narrative structure centered around episodes sparked concerns among players about the fate of annual expansions, the backbone of Destiny 2's overarching stories and content. During the 2023 annual showcase, Destiny 2 General Manager Dan McAuliffe revealed that episodes will mark the new way we are going to tell stories moving forward. This announcement has raised questions among the fans about the future of the game's annual expansions. Even after 6 months, Bungie has yet to reveal any details about what the future holds for expansions in Destiny 2. One of the reasons behind this could be that Bungie only wants players to focus on the Final Shape expansions right now and sell as many copies as possible. I think I'm okay, guys, with that. I mean, at the end of the day, the focus should be on the Final Shape. You know, what follows afterward, let's just see how good the Final Shape is. If the Final Shape is not stellar, I mean, 10 out of 10, not the best. If it's not the best expansion Bungie's ever given us, then no one's going to care about what happens after the Final Shape. If we get another Lightfall situation, or even if it's just a subpar ending to the Light and Darkness saga, it don't matter, man. It doesn't matter what happens. All right, let's continue. The yearly expansions are not only crucial in shaping the game's narrative, but also acting as a significant revenue generator for Bungie. The financial reality is clear. annual expansions have consistently contributed millions in revenue, making them an anchor in Destiny 2's success all these years. While the upcoming episodes may offer a new way to engage players, relying solely on them may not be the most financially sound decision. Considering how resource-heavy Destiny 2's live service really is, a strategic approach that could make sense is releasing a couple of episodes for a year or two. This would allow Bungie to redirect resources toward developing a brand new Destiny installment. Now, from the player's perspective, annual expansions are more than just content drops. They help generate excitement and hype within the community. These annual showcase events are essential in building anticipation for future gaming content, which ultimately leads to increased sales and revenue, something crucial for Bungie right now, which is currently facing financial challenges. Now, thoughts on the past, present, and the future of Destiny 2. Destiny stands out as one of the enduring live service games, not just surviving for nearly a decade, but thriving to the extent that it transformed Bungie into a multi-IP entertainment company. Bungie now juggles at least 3 different IPs simultaneously: Destiny, Marathon, and Project Gummy Bears, alongside engaging in multimedia projects. The success of the Witch Queen expansion played a pivotal role in Lightfall's impressive pre-order numbers. The success of Lightfall's pre-orders can be attributed to various factors, with the Witch Queen playing a major role. The Witch Queen expansion laid the foundation for heightened anticipation, introducing the Witness and intensifying the light versus darkness narrative. The brand new subclass Strand further acted as a major selling point, creating substantial excitement within the player base, an element notably absent in the Final Shape. That was us talking about the subclass. Why the Final Shape pre-orders are lower than expected. Similar to how the Witch Queen expansion played an important role in Lightfall's pre-order success, I think one of the main reasons behind low pre-orders for Final Shape is Lightfall. The bad reception of Lightfall's story has cast a lingering shadow, diminishing the overall enthusiasm for the upcoming expansion. Although the Final Shape is set to introduce 3 new light-based supers, the lack of new subclass and enemy race adds to the muted reception from the player community. Dude, man, ain't nothing but facts being said right here. Let me repeat that again. The lack of a new subclass and an enemy race adds to the muted reception from player community. Even more than not getting a new subclass, when we found out that the pyramid ships were just empty and there was no new alien race inside of there, and there was not going to be some huge freaking battle, and what, we're going to just be fighting Hive? Now, although the Final Shape is set to introduce 3 new light-based supers, the lack of a new subclass and enemy race adds to the muted reception for player community. The impact of the delay and reported layoffs at Bungie has also played a role in the low pre-order numbers, as players opt to wait more details before committing to a decision. Destiny 2 player count is declining and will most likely continue to decline after the Final Shape. As much as we all want the Final Shape to kickstart another golden age for Destiny 2, I think this is unlikely to happen. It's true that Bungie is trying to make this upcoming expansion the best it has ever released, but we also cannot ignore the fact that regardless of how exceptional this expansion might turn out to be, it's going to be the final Destiny expansion for many players. As someone deeply invested in the Destiny community, I've encountered numerous comments from devoted fans who have said that the Final Shape is the end of their journey with Destiny. The driving force behind this sentiment is undoubtedly the desire to witness the conclusion of the narrative arc that has unfolded over the past decade. This trend has been noticeable throughout the Lightfall year as we move through each season in 2023. There's been a consistent dip in player numbers. The game post analysis shows that the latest season, Season of the Wish, exemplifies this decline, marking the lowest day 1 peak for a seasonal release ever on Steam, with a mere 94,670 players. Ever? Oh my god. These are all the seasons, guys. Undying, Dawn, Worthy, Arrivals, Hunt, Chosen. Again, some of the spikes are in tandem with the annual expansion. That's why you see the big spikes, right? You know what's so crazy is that there's been so many good things that I've liked this season. The dungeon has been an absolute banger. My favorite dungeon Bungie's ever done, the Coil. A wonderful activity. The loot's also been really good. That's unfortunate. Now, Destiny will continue to get annual expansions even after the Final Shape. Ever since the announcement that Destiny 2 will adopt an episodic structure post, the Final Shape, speculation arose among players regarding the possibility that this expansion would mark the final expansion to be released in Destiny 2. In a recent video titled The Truth About Destiny and the Bungie, renowned PvP streamer Grenadier Jake claimed that the Final Shape would be the last ever big DLC, featuring the last ever big raid. Something I find highly unlikely for a couple of reasons. Firstly, annual expansions are one of the primary revenue streams for Destiny 2, consistently generating millions of dollars each year. Even by considering only half of Lightfall's estimated pre-orders as standard edition sales, the revenue surpasses 50 million. In the current financial climate, where Bungie is facing financial challenges and potential Sony takeover concerns, abandoning such a revenue source seems improbable. So I believe we will continue to get major annual expansions after the Final Shape. Secondly, the team and umbrellas. Bungie has specialized teams and umbrellas dedicated to Destiny 2's live service, such as Player Journey, Nexus, and Scenario, overseeing different aspects of development. As an example, Nexus encompasses sub-teams like Team Epsilon and Team Delta, with Epsilon handling seasonal content and Delta focusing on the main campaign. If the strategy is to only release episodes moving forward and no major expansions at all, it means Bungie would have to redirect all expansion resources towards untested episodic content. And without proven financial performance, it's a risky move. Moreover, Bungie houses the RAD, Raid and Dungeon team, that focuses on delivering raids and dungeons, the pinnacle in-game activities for Destiny 2 players. Given the long-standing integral role of raids in Destiny's expansions, it is highly probable that we will continue to see big raids and dungeons after the final shape. As stated above, a plausible scenario supporting the no expansion argument could be Bungie releasing episodes for a year or two without an annual expansion in between. This strategic approach would allow Bungie to reallocate the expansion resources into the development of a new Destiny game. Ooh, I'm not hopeful, guys. I don't think we're going to see a Destiny 3 around the corner, but man, I would love it. I would love a D3. Now, conclusion. The response to Lightfall and the impact of the extended silence along with the wider industry landscape all contribute to this complex narrative. Destiny 2 fans are eagerly awaiting the gameplay reveal for the final shape in April, along with the free 2-month content update Into the Light. As Destiny 2 steps into the future, it is presented with both challenges and opportunities. With over 650 employees working on Destiny, excluding contractors and partner studios, Bungie aims to deliver an unforgettable Destiny experience this summer. However, uncertainties from the revenue side loom large, and how the game will fare in the coming years remains to be seen. Good reporting, man. I like this. I mean, that he's not just pulling numbers out of thin air. I mean, this is something that we rely on. A lot of people rely on in the community. Charlemagne is a big resource for all of us. And the fact is, guys, that if these numbers are actually true and Final Shape comes out and it is not good, then, you know, Sony's probably about to take over Bungie.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.